Welcome back to What's Up Stratford. I'm joined by Dan Kane, and we're going to talk about cybersecurity and other IT related items. Dan, thanks for joining me.
Peter, thanks for having me. This is great.
Just tell me a bit about Gotech and why you're qualified to talk about IT related things.
So, personally, I've been in the IT industry since a high school co-op at National Trust, and I've been on both the programming side and on the support side for quite a while, working with um, uh, executive kind of enterprise level customers, all the way down to home users. So lots of experience, seeing lots of best practices, and trying to bring that to all levels of customers right now.
If you're on a computer, the city of Stratford was vulnerable, so it's not to shame people because big corporations have fallen victim to this. What are some of the typical things that you're seeing in terms of where people get, if you will, they get involved in this way and they shouldn't be?
Yeah, so what we're seeing now is a lot of social engineering type attacks where it's a post that they see on Facebook and they follow it, or it's a phone call or it's a spam email that comes through, and that's kind of the injection point for this attack. And it's not like 3 years ago or 5 years ago when the email came through and it was the prince of whomever and he's died and he's left you $1 million, send me your bank information. The sophistication of the attacks right now are just incredible. There's no longer spelling mistakes. They're no longer getting the bank logos wrong and things like that. So people start with you know a, a fairly benign looking request, and then that first request is probably some sort of bot, some sort of automation that goes through. As soon as there's a bite on the hook, then it switches over to a human, and these humans are professionals. It's not a 20-year-old living in his basement wearing a hoodie that we see on TV. These are corporations. They are 15-story buildings off site that when they do get somebody on the line, they pause the chat and go on mute, and they ring a bell, like they celebrate that they've got somebody on the line, and then it's just it's a game on their side of just how much money they can take you for.
So typically, I've received emails from banks that I don't even bank in, and then also ones that I do bank in. So what do you do when you get an email from your bank saying your account's been compromised and they're going to close it?
Okay. So the first thing you want to do on that is you want to stop that conversation completely. So if there's a message that comes through, an email or a text that comes through and says, we've like you said, we've seen some suspicious activity, we want to follow up, end that stream of communication, whether it's a phone call or whether it's an email or a text message, end that stream of communication and contact the bank directly, with the phone number that's on the back of your credit card. Um, if you can, go out to the physical branch and talk to them. The big key on all of this stuff is, even though they'll make it sound urgent, it's not urgent. Whatever it is, isn't going to be the result isn't going to be any different if you wait 1 minute or 10 minutes or 45 minutes to follow up on it. If it was truly a compromise that's at the bank would have already shut it down. Any of this other activity, just keep in mind, none of this is, I jokingly call it live organ donation, but none of this is live organ donation. Whatever the response they want from you, reach out a different way and just delay it by half an hour. So
Who would they call if they do want to bounce it off someone?
so really, you can call anyone. So I call this the sniff test. So when you see an email that's asking for money or saying your account's compromised or whatever it is, if you were to run that by anyone else, just get their thoughts on it. You can call us at the shop. We would be happy to walk you through it. But even if you have a friend or a neighbor or a relative that you can have this open conversation with, that I got this message. Does this seem right to you? And between the two of you, I bet you'll be able to figure out that it's legit or not legit. But make sure you're taking a different way to have that conversation for the next step. You mentioned at the very top about the city of Stratford compromise and not wanting to shame anybody. The real part of this is we have to get past that shame thing, and we have to be able to have a conversation and ask for advice. And don't feel shamed or embarrassed because these are professionals that we're up against.
I'm Peter Mirage, your host of What's Up Stratford. Thanks for joining the May show, and make it a great day.